This conference will now be recorded.
Quorum present at 6:02. City of Hazlet Parks and Recreation Board meeting for January the 14th. We have an officer and oath appointment today for Kimm. Do you have the paper that you read, Kimm? Basically, if you will, Katrina will lead you.
If you will just stand and repeat after me, please. We will start with the statement of appointed officer. So I
Kimm, Dillard,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I have not directly or indirectly paid,
that I have not directly or indirectly paid,
offered, promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute
offered, promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute
any money or thing of value,
any money or thing of value,
or promised any public office or employment
or promise any public office or employment
as a reward to secure my appointment
as a reward to secure my appointment
or confirmation thereof, so help me God.
or confirmation thereof, so help me God.
Good, and then if you're in agreement, you'll just sign that signature spot, and then we'll do the next page. The State of Texas oath of office.
Okay.
I
I, Kimm Dillard,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of board member of Hazlet Parks and Recreation
of office of board member of Hazlet Parks and Recreation
for the city of Hazlet,
for the city of Hazlet,
and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
the Constitution of laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
Fantastic. Welcome to the Park Board, Place 5.
Thank you.
Citizens' participation and comments. I think we have none present other than what's already on the agenda. And then no specific items of community interest to note today. Item number 5, we have a presentation from a Girl Scout troop member named Eleanor Kent and Sarah Smith. If you guys will come up to the front for us, they're from Girl Scout Troop 2755, and they will be presenting the proposal for a bronze award project. So I am not a scout. If you would please start by telling me, well, tell me what your names are and then what the bronze award is.
Hello, City Council members.
There's a little, hold on one second, there's a little button there. If you'll just hit that, it'll make your voice audio recorded.
Hello, City Council members. Our names are Eleanor. I'm Eleanor. And Sarah. And we are Girl Scouts working on our Girl Scout Bronze Award, which focuses on helping our community. For our Bronze Award project, we will choose to help protect local wildlife today. We are asking for permission to place one eastern screech owl nesting box in Hazlitt Park.
The Girl Scout Bronze Award is the highest award a junior Girl Scout can earn. To earn it, a Girl Scout must find a problem in the community, learn about the problem, take action that creates a lasting impact. Helping an eastern owls is our way of giving back to our community.
What is an eastern screech owl? A small owl about the size of a soda can, lives in Texas and many U.S. states. Active mostly at night, comes in grayish or reddish-brown colors, often lives near people, parks, or neighborhoods. Why are eastern screech owls important? Eastern screech owls help our community by eating rats, mice, and insects, controlling pests naturally, keeping the ecosystem balanced. They are a helpful part of our community, of our eco-environment.
What problem did we discover? While working on our Bronze Award, we learned that screech owls nest in tree holes. Many older trees are being removed or lost. Parks and neighborhoods now have fewer natural nesting places. This makes it harder for owls to survive and raise their young. New home building is decreasing the natural living places of mice and rats, creating a nuisance for humans, but an opportunity for screech owls as their natural predators.
Our Bronze Award Action Plan. For our Bronze Award, we plan a solution that helps wildlife, is safe for people, creates a lasting impact. Our solution is to place one eastern screech owl nesting box in Hazlitt Park.
How a nesting box helps. A nesting box acts like a safe tree cavity, protects owls from weather and predators, gives owls a place to raise their babies. This is a long-term solution that helps owls year after year. Safety and responsibility. This project will be done responsibly. Eastern screech owls are not aggressive. They avoid people and are active at night. The bots will be securely mounted by an adult, placed in the approved location, maintained and checked regularly.
Lasting impact on the community. This Bronze Award project will support local wildlife conservation, provide an educational example for other kids, encourage respect for nature in our parks, leave a positive impact even after project is finished. Our request to City Council. As part of Girl Scout Bronze Award, we respectfully ask permission to install one eastern screech owl nesting box in a safe, approved area of Hazlitt Park, following all city rules and guidelines.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting Girl Scouts, our parks, and wildlife. We hope you will help us complete our Bronze Award project and help the Eastern Screech Owls. Does anybody have any questions?
I'm so happy you asked. What made you choose a screech owl? Do you have any in your own yard, or what was your idea? Someone just mentioned it to you? How'd you come up with that plan?
We were on a journey and we learned lots about eastern screech owls. And plus, they're really cute.
They are very cute.
So part of, so my name is Beth Kent. Not only am I Eleanor's mom, but I'm also the troop leader for Troop 2755. Part of the girls earning their Bronze Award, which like the girl said is the highest award that a Girl Scout Junior can earn. They have to complete what's called a Girl Scout journey, which is not just like one of their badges, but you can see both of their. These are badges, and they can earn a badge like in a day, right? It's just a small thing. But a Girl Scout journey goes into depth where they actually have to complete a take action project. And so these girls went, they went to way east of Dallas to the Blackland Prairie Raptor Center and completed a journey. I believe it was called, gosh, now I can't think of what, it was last spring is when they did it, but they worked hand in hand with learning about conservation and taking care of their planet around them, and how it helps conservation for natural animals in our area in DFW. And while they were there, they actually got to meet some of our native species of birds. And so, do you want to tell them about our rat problem? In our backyard.
In my backyard, we had a rat problem, and we got like 3 big rats, and my dad's like.
Yeah, so our HOA decided to mow down some natural grasses outside of, we have kind of like a green belt, but on the outside of our back fence. So like the girls mentioned in their presentation, when you take away a rodent's natural living habitat, they look for other places. And so, we were talking about how we don't want to put poison out. We have dogs and people have pets and that sort of thing. And so it was all sort of like a brainstorm, right? With how can we get rid of the problem, but also do something good and work with conservation as well.
I have another question. I see 2 boxes. Are one of those the boxes that will go out? And did you guys make the boxes?
Yes, we made the boxes, and yes, we are gonna put one in Hazlitt Park.
Have you chosen which one? Like, did you each make one?
We
Yes.
each made one.
Okay.
Do you want to tell me what the last step that you guys both need to do to your boxes on the inside? That we read about later, remember? What they call, remember?
We have to put the
She said no.
8 scratches so the owls can perch on them.
The babies to like sharpen their talents.
So on the inside, on the other side right here, they have to have the scratches on the inside so that when the babies are ready to fledge,
They can sharpen their
so sharpen their little claws and
And climb out.
Yep, and climb out to get to the hole, because that otherwise, what would happen? Remember? They die inside
they die inside.
the box.
I have one more question. Will you bring the screech owl to the box, or will you hope the screech owl finds the box?
We'll put food and leaves in there, so hopefully it attracts the owl.
Something natural to, we've tried to limit how much we've touched the inside, and then when we put stuff on the inside, like the
brush and like it could be leaves or wood chips can go on the inside to help encourage them to nest.
But no, we don't, it's not bring your own owl. They wish we could.
I was going to see if you could drop one off in my yard, so, you know. I need a box and a bird, thank you.
I have a question for you. Once you put them out, are you going to monitor the boxes to see if an owl actually, gets into the box and kind of keep an eye on them? Or what do y'all do after you place them, place the box out there?
I think we'll come back and check it.
I think just out of pure curiosity, I think the girls would want to come and check and see.
If we get an owl out there, we can put a camera on it. Can be the Haslett owl.
That's right.
That's what I was going to say is that if you guys put it out there, that I expect a report back when you get one.
It's almost like one of those, you know how kids have like eagle cams or those, I'm sure wouldn't that be fun to put cameras in there?
James, you have anything to say about that?
No, Public Works has no objection to placing this in the park. I mean, the
Those
community
are
park.
good sizes.
Yeah, the community park was a Parks and Wildlife grant park anyway, so we have natural areas. There's 2 locations that come to mind, one being south of the creek area where we have some larger trees, but they're not protected trees. And then also in the upper, that'd be the north west corner there, there's a natural area there that possibly one could be placed there. So if y'all are in support, we would have no objection with that being placed.
Do we have access to a staff member to help them mount the box appropriately?
If that was requested, I'm sure we could accommodate that.
Is there any special mounting equipment that they would need to provide? Like, is there special ropes or wires?
So Eleanor, my husband, Eleanor's dad said that we would probably just mount it with a drill and some really strong outdoor screws. I mean, that's really what we had discussed. The girls built this with a plan from the Audubon Association, right? That's kind of that was their guideline for how to build it and what to follow. And so we'll go back and make sure that we follow, their guidelines as to the best way to do that.
I just honestly don't know if you drill into a tree, if there has to be special equipment. I don't know. Does it kill the tree? I have no idea.
No, because we don't want to harm the tree either.
Yeah, let's motion.
This is,
Oh, let's move to item 8. Number 8, action item. Discuss, consider, and act on a presentation from Girl Scout troop members Eleanor and Sarah, allowing a project to install the placement of a screech owl nesting box. You're just going to do one? One box? The presentation said 1, but I see 2. I just want to make sure.
Since they both built one, they brought one. Our plan was that just one in the city park, if that's okay
Do you have a purpose for the other one, or were you good with one? One.
We were gonna put one in our bag.
Okay, awesome. Just making sure. Just want to make sure that we get the boxes utilized somewhere. I was going to volunteer in my own yard. Perfect. Okay, allowing allowing the placement of one screech owl nesting box properly affixed with the approval of park staff as well. And we can make a motion to, do we recommend to city council, or can we just move this because it's a park item?
Okay, and then we will verify. I don't know.
I don't
this
know if
will
we have to make
go
a recommendation or
Just a
not.
recommendation to approve the project, and then we will see if it needs to go to city council, given that it's, doesn't have any monetary cost to put in there,
Right.
and the scope isn't so large. Most likely, it'll be able to be approved administratively, but we'll take
Okay.
care of that. We just need a recommendation from the park board.
So if you will make your recommendation, that includes our recommendation along with a motion as necessary to council, if we need that.
Okay. This is Cindy. I'd like to thank you for coming and making your presentation. I'd also like to make a motion to accept your donation of the owl box for Haslett Community Park. And if we need further okay from council, we'll seek that afterwards.
This is Chuck, I'll second with the memo that we get an update when you get your owl.
All in favor? None opposed?
Thank you for coming.
I would like to just officially make one more recommendation, just in case we need it, to motion to city council to also approve this, and then if we don't need it, we don't need it. But I'd like to motion to make a recommendation from the park board to city council.
This is Cindy. I second.
All in favor? None opposed? That's a red tape thing, ladies. Those are good boxes, nice boxes.
Could I also ask you, if you ever want to participate in like our Veterans Memorial celebration and other things, that leaves us the contact number, because we'd love to have volunteers. And it's nice to see people in the community come step forward. Thank you.
All right, number 6, consent agenda item. If we decide to do so, for the minutes and the financial report, are you able to put up the financial report for us? And I'm sorry, I don't know your name. William. Anything to point out, Katrina? Okay. Can we see the next other fund? Oh, we only get one. Oh, there it is, Fund 15. Any report for the 15,000 that was spent on community park? Or is that just another one number that's going to eat out of Fund 15? Just for knowledge purposes.
I printed the roster. It's, I'll just read it real quick. There's 4302 to Belchiff, 1726 to CMJ Engineering, 4950 to Lemming Architectural Design Group for the veterans, 1525 to CMJ Engineering, 2053 to CMJ, and 704 to CMJ. And that is your $15,000 balance for the month.
What is CMJ?
CMJ Engineering is the
Just
group
another
that did a
engineering.
lot of work in the park.
And then would you just tell me the number to the Lemming, the amount for Lemming?
With $4,950. $4,950.
Okay. And then the minutes. Thank you. 1 second. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Okay. All right. Looks fine to me. I'd just like to state for the record that of the $15,620 that have come out of Fund 15, I only agree with the $4,950 because I know what that is. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I just have to say it out loud. Makes me feel better.
It was 15,260, but okay.
No, you said Lemming was 4,950.
The total, I mean,
That's the one that I, yeah. Oh, what was the total for Lemming?
4950.
Yeah, okay. Yes, that's the one that that's the one I agree with. Although my one voice means nothing. Any motions to consent agenda, or do you guys want to separate them out? Okay, go for it.
Ms. Chuck, I motion that we approve consent agenda for the minutes from November and the December 2025 financial report.
Second,
This is Dana. I second the motion.
all in favor? Unopposed? We have a few action items. We'll start with Easter egg hunt for 2026. And that means we just pick a date. What day is Easter? And I will ask the audience if they are in school and know of holidays that would conflict with a date that we choose. If you'll just raise your hand and let us know, that would be fantastic. April 9th, no. April 12th is Easter? No, April 5th is Easter.
I have April 5th.
We're doing it after Easter?
The 5th of April.
Yeah, I don't have that on my calendar. Maybe you have a different year or something. Well, I don't see it.
I can throw out there that Roanoke's is March 28th.
April 5th. Maybe you're looking at 25 that we did on the 12th or something. April. So Roanoke is the 28th, which is this Saturday before Palm Sunday. So I believe that the 15th to the 21st is spring break. That is correct. My sources have confirmed my assumption. So the 21st probably wouldn't work since most people will be out of town. So we can do the 28th like Roanoke, or we can try the 4th, which is literally the Saturday before Easter.
Let's do
May
the 28th at 3 o'clock.
May I ask the moms in the audience if they were bringing small children, if they had a preference to which one? Moms.
28th or what?
The 28th or the 4th, I don't know, does it make a difference? Okay, okay. I don't know, my kids don't egg hunt anymore, so. Anyone have a preference on their availability when they can come? You want 28? You want 28?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the day before Easter, a lot of families are going to be in and out of town, so, yeah, I'd rather do that on the 28th.
28 sounds fun to me.
4 o'clock's fine.
4 o'clock on the 28th. And then if anyone asks about being a vendor, do we just want to do what we did last year? Didn't we have one flat fee up to 3 people or something? Sure. I think it was like 3. I mean, I can go back here and look. I'm pretty sure we said 3, maximum 3 vendors. It's because it's only an hour. And I want to say we said $50 or something like that. March, April. DJ. It's Christmas. February. Santa, Hunt, DJ Bunny, Incognito. I have the age groups of 2 and under, 3 to 7, 8 to 12, and 10 to 12. And then I have one that says 3 to 5 and 6 to 9.
8 to 10 and 10 to 12? Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, but, oh, I know what it was. We had, excuse me, 2 and under, 3 to 7, and 8 to 12, and I think we separated it, and we made it 3 to 5, and then 6 to 9, and then 10 to 12. So we had four groups. So we changed it when we were speaking. So I think we liked that way it worked last year. So if we do 2 and under, 3 to 5, 6 to 9, and then 10 to 12. 3 to 5, 6 to 9, 12. And I know Serge is always a fan of that square thing. It always seemed to, I mean, I was a fan also, but were we, James?
Yes.
The square thing where we just do one group, age group at a time versus the lines where they all go crazy, so. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think it's worked well and amount of problems.
Sponsor.
We gonna see if we can get the same people to volunteer again? Yeah, they sure were helpful.
Yeah, Oasis was
They were
sent
very
like
helpful.
10 or 15 people.
Yeah, I think we had employee credit, Oasis Church and Northgate Church that were gonna help us last year. I don't know if do we reach out to them or do they call us? Oasis Church, Northgate Church, and employee credit is what I wrote down. Okay. What she said. And then in March, bunny eggs, gift cards. Golly. Oh, here it is. $25 a table, $50 a truck. That was what we decided. If somebody wanted to set up a stand, does that sound fair? Like a food truck was 50, but a table would be 25. And I feel like Fiber First and Mid-Cities Women Clinic had a table because they were sponsors. Okay. And then additionally, we said $25 a table, $50 a truck. I think because it's only an hour, we said no, right? Because they only have an hour, like it's done in 15 minutes. If they want to show, we're not encouraging it, we're not soliciting it. That's only if somebody calls and says, can I be a vendor?
So just question, so
Yeah.
how many vendors are you actually looking for? You said
Zero.
Just, you're not looking for any?
Correct, we're not looking for any
Okay.
vendors at the Easter egg hunt, but they tend to call Katrina and say, can we be a vendor?
Okay.
And it's scheduled for an hour, and I don't know if you've been before, but it takes 15 minutes. I mean, maybe 30 if we stretch it, and DJ Alex, and yeah. Yes. So we're not looking for vendors, we're just, if they ask, that would be the option. Do we need a motion for that, or can we just carry it from last year? Okay, I make a motion to set the Easter egg hunt date for March the 28th, 26 at 4 p.m. No, March.
This is Dana. I second the motion.
We're going to let Dana second the motion. Perfect. All in favor? None opposed? We'll text you, Cindy. And then do we need a motion for the vendor fees or not really? With the option, I'll amend my motion to include the option for a $25 vendor fee for a table and a $50 vendor fee for a truck, should anyone call to ask. Dana, do you agree with that amendment?
I agree.
All in favor? Excellent. Do we have a bunny? Okay. Okay. Because wasn't she still having another year before we started moving to mine? I think so. We'll ask her again. Okay. The Memorial Day celebration is set for May 26, 2025 at 10 a.m.
Let's change the date on that. We need to move it to this year, at least.
That would be fantastic.
Good.
Let's change that date to this year. And how about we make it May 25th, since that's Memorial Day of 2026?
I agree with that.
Sounds good.
So I will motion to correct the Memorial Day celebration to May the 25th of 2026.
Second, Chuck.
I think the numbers just got inverted. All in favor? Not opposed?
Well, I got a question, and I don't know where we handle this, because this will go across a couple events, but we need an outdoor podium that has a mic clip to it, because even the VFW mentioned this to me, that, and when I did the speech for Memorial Day, it's awful hard to hold the mic, hold your speech, and then try to make eye contact with everybody while you're talking. Huh?
I can build a
too
podium, but
old
where
for
do you want to
that.
store it? I said, I can build a podium, but where do you want to store it?
We can store it here. I'll store it at my house. I don't care.
Well, and there is one in this room.
Oh, there is?
Well, that one right there. We could take it down there, can't we? We have in the past, but that was a long time ago.
I wouldn't recommend we transport this one out. We could probably get a portable podium relatively cheap, or if nothing else, just a microphone stand, if that would work. The other option would look into see if you could get lapel mics. I don't know if that's an option for that speaker you'll have, but if it was, you could just get a lapel mic. But would a microphone stand suffice? Because I do think we have one of those. Or do you want something to put?
Well, and anything to keep from having to manage that, because it's very difficult, even if I had memorized it, but
Well,
it was just a thought.
an alternate to that too is just buy a music stand, which isn't hard, and you can clip your speech to that. It's got a shelf on it, but it doesn't hold a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that would work.
We just need something.
Can we just motion? I don't know how much does a music stand cost. Can we just motion for that?
Well, so I think we have a
We have
music
one?
stand. We just don't, it won't hold a mic. You'd have to have
The
also a mic
lapel
stand.
mic. Okay.
So
You could use the future agenda item section to ask for quotes and reconsider it at the next meeting.
Perfect.
Okay. It's just something that popped in my head. And I think my son-in-law will speak again this year. We can, if you want him back. I mean, he didn't speak last year, but I'll ask him again. I didn't see him at Christmas, so I'll ask him again. And if you're amenable to that, then we'll sign him up.
Sounds good.
He was supposed to speak the year before, wasn't he? When
Last
we
year.
had to cancel it?
When we rained out.
Okay.
With a contingency plan that if it rains, we're going to move to
We're
the pavilion.
going to the pavilion.
Okay. I don't think we need anything else. And I don't think we have to make another motion for if we wanted to do it now, we can. It's under action item and expenditures. But we can look into it, see if we have a music stand, see if we have the mic. So, Or if the mic is, how do we find out if the mic's compatible with that speaker? Who has the speaker? Can we just like look and see if the instruction manual
Yeah,
has it?
we'll look
Okay.
to see if there's something we
Okay.
can do.
Well,
to
the
make-
mic is compatible with the,
I mean, like a lapel mic where you could just like clip it on, or like an earpiece mic, you know, where you're fancy. It is Bluetooth compatible?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth compatible because
Okay, so we can just get a
linked to my phone.
Bluetooth piece? Okay. Fireworks Independence Day, we can choose an event if you would like for,
Something else to consider as we're, this is with Independence Day.
oh, okay.
I skipped along too. This is 250 years for the country.
Oh,
So I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe we can come up with something
cool.
special for that.
You mean we can have drones and real fireworks?
I wish we could have drones. That would be cool, like they do on New Year's Eve in Dallas.
I don't think that Hillwood will allow it. They wouldn't even let us take pictures of the park from the air
Yeah.
with one drone.
I think it's because of the
So-
airport.
The
Airport.
Yeah. But that's just something that I've been thinking about, that, you know, this is special, a special 4th of July. So I don't know if we can maybe ponder it and maybe next month, maybe come up with some ideas and
Well, I
how to
know-
make it special.
Historically, the 4th of July fees are more expensive on the holiday, which is falling on a Saturday this year. And I know James typically has preferred that we do it not on a non-regular working day so they can still work. Would you guys be off the Friday before, or could we do the July 3rd date?
So I have the price quotes from Illumination and Pyro Show. Pyro Show is considerably less expensive. They did not offer it on the 3rd or the 4th. I asked for the available dates, and they gave us 26th or 7/2. And I think that in staff, we have leaned toward the 26th.
Yeah.
I like to be one of the first cities to do it, like on the 26th. We have a big crowd that way.
And the 26th, no one will be off staff-wise, so they can arrange the days to help us out, right, without having them come in extra. I like to be cognizant of our resources. I'm fine
You
with
know,
that.
something to consider, in the past, we have had parades. Maybe we should do something like that for this one. And
We had a
invite the
really cool
VFW and the Young Marines and,
We had a really cool parade, and they would block off 156. It was pretty fantastic, and cross 156 and go down Schoolhouse Road. We had judges and everything, floats, and I think it got too hot, and then we moved to the night. We started doing it at 7 p.m.
well,
and
we
it got
switched it from
later.
Mansfield over to the community
And
park.
then we switched to the other side of the, yeah. And then
It
they
was
said,
a
well, we don't want to block
safety issue that
156.
we can't close 156, is why we discontinued.
Right. But, you know, I mean, really, we could just do a big circle.
But why couldn't we do the parade down Schoolhouse Road and then walk across the trail that goes underneath the road? People could park, can they park in that building that's not ours, really?
The reason why we discontinued the parade was just because of traffic.
Right.
That anything that makes traffic a little worse here just wasn't, we didn't think was a good idea, and not much has changed there. I mean, anything's possible, but that was always the thought on not having a parade until traffic's a little more manageable through here. I understand.
Is there a path downtown that doesn't go, like, is there a loop on the inside of downtown that wouldn't go on any main streets?
So I have an idea,
Tell me.
because we live right in front of the church,
Okay.
right down there. So I know that we couldn't probably
In Old
block
Town?
off 156, yeah, in Old Town. So I know we probably couldn't do this, but another city did an awesome parade, and they actually did block off 156, right? A little bit. Just half of it, and had people, anyway, but why couldn't we turn around in the church? I mean, go into the church, turn around, and come back and do another loop. I mean, we could kind of zigzag through the parade. I mean,
You know what? What if we made it a walking and either bicycles or golf cart parade? Because then you could use the trail. They could park everything over at Nance Field, and you could use that trail and go underneath the bridge, come up through and make a big circle around the whole park, and then go back up and have the destination in the church. I mean, it would be more in tune to younger, kids and young adults, and we could have the VFW come with their color guard. It's something we could look at.
So consider parade. We probably should decide that by the next meeting, if that's what we can do, and get a good plan of where we would want it to run. Somebody get like a path that they think would work best. And if you live there and are like, oh, this is the path that I think works the best, we'll take your advice because you live there, so. I mean, I liked the parade. I just feel like we had some cars, some old cars that would drive through. That was fun. They wouldn't be able to drive through the park, though.
We could just have them circle Randy's driveway. It is a horseshoe driveway, and turn around that way.
If you've got the connection, girl, hook us up. So maybe a parade, maybe really find out about the drone thing, fireworks. But the price is significantly cheaper on the 26th in general.
The same price for the second also.
Oh, okay.
So this is $22,050. That's a 20-minute show with 663-inch shells, 510 4-inch shells. They gave us another price of $24,150, and the only difference is the 4-inch shells goes up to 600 instead of 510. And that's from Pyro Show. Illumination gave us a quote for the same date for $35,000.
Who did it last year?
Pyro Show.
Okay. Yeah, for $12,000, they do a fine job.
So is that basically a standard show?
20-minute standard show, yes, sir.
So if we're asking for something a little more elaborate, we're gonna have to spend a little more money.
Correct.
So, I mean, because like you said, it's $250, so we might as well consider going a little bit
Bigger
bigger.
finale or something.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I think that we could probably work with them on the logistics of it, but I know if we don't catch the date, it's prone to somebody else taking it. So I say we take the date and then consider raising the price that we're willing to pay for something more elaborate, if they can give us some ideas of other things that they've done in the past.
Yeah, they do a really good job.
I mean, they might have some drones. I've seen some shows where the drones shoot off the fireworks.
They do have drones. They gave us a price 1 year.
So could you check with them, whichever one we decide to go with, and see if they're doing anything special for $250? Or if they can do something special for $250?
So do we want to lock in the 26th as the date?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll motion for June 26th of 2026 to be the Independence Day event date.
This Cindy, I
June
second.
26th. All in favor? Unopposed? Hazlitt, fourth. And then I will also motion that we go with the Pyro Show on 6/26 at the, let's just lock in the date for the $24,000 price. That gives us more space to figure out what we'd like.
Did they do last year?
They did it last year.
It was
And-
really, really good last year.
And it even could be just a tiny bit shorter. I mean, I don't think everybody was like, oh my gosh, they thought it was over, then they thought it was over, then they thought it was over. If they wanted to do it a little bit shorter, but give us some kind of a big boom for,
Like 15 minutes, but
250
higher
years.
shoots
Yeah,
or
whatever
something.
they can do.
Right.
If they're doing anything. I don't know. I'm sure there's people besides us asking.
So I need a second on my pyro show for 24,000.
This,
I think the answer's probably gonna be the bigger shells. You know how they offered the 3-inch shells and the 4-inch shells? I don't know all of the sizes available,
Yeah.
but
More
I'll
4-inch.
ask.
I'll second.
Motion to approve pyro for the 24,140 for
I guess you gotta make it
626.
before I
Second
second.
on the table, all in favor? None opposed? I think that's all for now. Fireworks.
We're looking at Christmas in the
Actually, let
park.
me, wait a second. So last year, we had the Sky Pirates train, the Euro bungee. We motioned all that in March, though. Do we still have time, Katrina?
Still have time, I haven't collected any
Okay,
pricing thus far.
so probably we can look at the train. The Euro bungee thing has been a big hit since we started bringing it.
The
Axe
axis.
throwing, tents, beach balls. Anything else anyone can think of? Something big and exciting we can talk about at the next meeting for the 250, so.
Spreadsheet of what we did last
Yeah, so those are the things that we did, but we can look at the other ones. Okay. Anybody have anything else on the Independence Day? Katrina?
I don't have anything else. I
The-
just wanted to get the date at
Okay.
least set.
Christmas in the Park, always the first Saturday of the month of December, so that is December the 5th of 2026. And I don't think we have to do anything.
No, but I'd like
Oh,
to
wait a
say
minute.
that,
Do we have Santa Heath?
Say it again?
Santa Heath.
Yes.
Do we reserve him yet? Because I know we usually
I
get
talked to
him.
them today.
Okay,
If you want to approve the Santa,
do.
it's $725, same as last year, same.
just keeps going up.
But he books up super fast.
He does. It pains me to make this motion. I will motion for Santa Heath in the amount of $725 for December 5th.
I second. Cindy?
All in favor? Unopposed?
And before we go any further,
Yes.
I think that the park looks the prettiest it's ever looked since we started decorating this year. We had more people over there, because I drive by there every time I come home. The library parking lot was full, all of the parking on the street. In fact, they were even parking on Tanya's lot, and we had to put up no parking signs.
Ma'am, you have moved to item 9C.
No, I'm just discussing Christmas in the park.
You've skipped a line. That's an agenda
Oh,
item.
recap, I'm
That's okay,
sorry.
we have 9C on there for a recap of Christmas.
Anything else for 7D, the date of December 5th?
3 to 7, everybody still want to do
3 to 7, perfect. So outside of Santa Heath, we're pretty good.
for now, yeah.
Okay. What about DJ Alex? Is he a lump sum again this
I'm
year?
sorry, what'd you say?
The DJ. DJ.
I haven't talked to him yet, I'm sure it'll be the same.
I mean, we don't need to make a motion right now, we're good, okay. All right, discuss, consider, and act regarding the park board storage facilities for Christmas decorations. Does that mean James has something to tell us about that? Dana has something to say about that?
I sent one quote just to get an example of prices, but I'd like James or somebody from Public Works to go out and look and see how much the containers would cost to put the Christmas decorations in on-site up there at the Public Works facility, because we're paying $581 a month right now for storage buildings, when the storage building, what do you have on a cost that I sent you?
Okay, so we're paying that, exactly what you said, but that's about $7,000 a year that's budgeted for rental of the space. And then there was pricing here for shipping containers, but I think, did you want to speak to that, James?
So a couple of things. One, I talked to the building official, and We are not allowed a long-term storage container with the current ordinances, so you'd have to either ask for a variance or a change in the ordinance, so.
What is the current size? I know there's a size limit.
Well, it's the type. Anything that's an actual storage container, the kind that they were discussing, if it was basically.
But I know we can put a barn, so what's the barn size? Do you know?
I'm sorry.
Like, we could put a barn out there. That's a city
Well,
ordinance
so-
thing.
So two things. I will say
Yeah, okay.
there is no current room at our public works storage, our yard, to put a storage unit of any type. It would have to go at another location on some other part of city property. We just cannot fit it in that public work yard at all. We are at capacity. And then specifically to the storage unit, like I said, I asked, and the most you can keep one is 60 days, and it's meant to be a very temporary thing. Now, the intention for storage as a whole is supposed to be addressed with some storage buildings that are going to be built for us. So we have a 40 by 100 warehouse for these kind of things that is budgeted for. Engineering has been directed to work on the site plan, and once that's built, that's ideally where this should go. That was the intention, is to move the small amount of with the library. They rent as well, so there's supposed to be a very small amount of conditioned space for some library storage, the Christmas storage, or any park board storage, and as well as all the other needs for, the city, just furniture, stuff like that. So that is the plan. I can't tell you on the timeline of how soon we could expect to see that. We should know hopefully in the coming months. My recommendation would be, since it is already budgeted, that we continue at least through this budget cycle with the rental as we have it. And then we'll have a much better idea at budget time where we are, and if not, we could look at another option. We're also, in the budget, have a storage, like it's a 40 by 60 that's supposed to go in behind the fire station. The intention of that is to handle some of the mowing and pesticides and things like that for upkeep of the parks, but we could potentially try to see if we could utilize a small amount of that space if the need was to take things out of storage. But that's, at least my recommendation is, we for sure cannot put it exactly within our current storage or public works facility. We just don't have the room. So it would have to go in another location.
William, could you pull up the ordinance for the size of a barn structure that's permitted? It's on the website.
So how big of a structure do you think that if we were to decide to construct something, could it be done at Community Park next door to the park building that we already have there? And how large do you think it would need to house all of that Christmas decorations and stuff?
Katrina, could you remind me what they're currently using?
I looked it up and read it to you over the phone, but I didn't write it down. I want to say we've got a 20 by 20 and a 20 by 15.
Just two.
We have two, library has some, so.
Well, I mean, that's,
They moved us from one to another, I think is what you're about.
I didn't hear both those numbers, but that's roughly what, 1,500 square feet? It's not, and then you have, of course, the park board building, and right now, the park board building is
Yeah, there it is.
fairly, well, it comes back and forth. We have shelving around the edges, and the center is open. You could always store things differently in there. It's set up so we can have walking rooms, you can work out of it, but you could, if it was needed to just be packed full, you could, and maybe possibly reduce one of those storage units, but that was the reason why we took it off-site, was to have room in there to operate out of. And as far...
And yet when we order new items, it continually gets full, and you can barely get through there until we take it all out and put it in the park and then see where we're going to put it next year.
Scroll up a little bit. The size might be right above that.
And so we would have to, and as far as your question on the size, it could go in the park. Again, we'd have to look at the ordinance and reach out to the building official, just because some of these only apply to residential for, quantities and sizes. I don't know specifically in a park if we have a restriction on the quantity of storage facilities or what that is. We would have to look into that.
I'm like scrolling with my pen. Sorry, the only reason I know that there's a size limitation is because a resident of Hazlet requested an exemption, and the council denied that. And so I know that there's an actual number of how big it can
There is,
be.
but the zoning comes into play for that. So the quantity and the types
So the
and
zoning would
all
be
that.
different because it's
Yes.
public, I
This
mean,
is
because
public
it's city
institutional.
property.
Yeah, so I don't know that there's a specific restrictions in that zoning that would dictate the size or the quantity of a storage facility.
I mean, because I have land that a barn could fit on. If somebody wants to stick a barn on there to store Christmas decorations that you get out once a year. Do you see where I'm going? So if we knew the size, and Dana wanted to present the cost of the size of the structure, and we temporarily, for the next year, while you're deciding what you're gonna do with this 60 by 40 and 40 by 100 warehouses that are being built with all of our money, then we could just temporarily store it on my property because I'm within the city limits, and that's permittable. But we have to know the size. That's what I was asking.
What's the size of the container?
There's a couple different ones, but yes.
The bigger ones are 40 feet long.
By 8?
They're 8 foot tall. There's a tall version that's 8 and some change. I mean, they're less than 10 feet. They're 7 point something or 8 point something for the height, and I don't have the width of that, but yeah, 40 feet.
So all that land up there by the Public Works building, you know, not necessarily in the fence, but that doesn't belong to the city?
So there is I think the roughly 70 acres around that. It's just, you said specifically in our current facility, we just don't have room there. City owns various other properties, and
We couldn't put it right behind the fence,
it's
outside of the
It's possible
lot?
that some sort, that is the site where we're planning on putting a warehouse is behind. It'd be to the east of our current fenced-in area. That is where they're looking at a site plan there. But as far as for temporary, that would have to, a different approval. And again, we could not, without a variance of some sort, put a container like this. And I wouldn't suggest building anything permanent, since we are already in the stages of building something permanent for that purpose.
It's not percent, it's an actual number. It'll say like something by something. It's not a
Yes.
percentage of anything.
Right, and then.
I've read it, I just don't remember where it is. Sorry, I'm not trying to tell you, yeah, it's okay. It's on there somewhere.
Yes, but again, on that one, those rules are specific to a resident. And
Sure.
then I think it'd be very complicated for the city to purchase any kind of storage unit and then place it on a
Someone's
non-city
property.
property. Yes, I think,
I also have a barn that needs a new roof, and for $7,000, I could get a really nice roof, and you could use my empty barn.
and again, that would be something that would have to be discussed with the city attorney probably on that.
Just
I
giving
don't
you an
think that's-
example of
I understand.
the amount of money that we're spending to store something when we have space of our own. Did you have the price list for the storage containers?
I sent it to Katrina.
There is a price list. It's just that our zoning does not allow for this type of.
So just out of curiosity, how much does one cost?
$26.25 up to $73.88 on the high end, and $26.25 on the low end.
That cost changes based on the condition, if you buy them used or on the size, it's just.
So if
and-
council made an approval for this exemption of this structure to be placed outside of the fence on our property, that could be a possibility.
There's not been a approval on that design. There was money that had been budgeted for, basically for some storage, buildings.
Places, yeah.
Yes, things for equipment, things for warehouse needs.
Yes, but those are for
And-
parks stuff.
And the other thing is, James, I just feel like if it's not specifically designated for Christmas decorations and park board, that eventually that warehouse is going to get used for things that the Public Works needs.
Well, and that-
Which is
Larger
what it's for.
equipment,
That is
bigger
for you.
trucks and-
It is,
Right.
yeah.
So I think it would be really nice if we started looking in the direction of having something that the park board has access to, it's big enough, and it's going to be big enough for us to grow into.
Okay, that's definitely something that you could look into. Like I said, you currently have your park board building, and that was built with the old needs in mind. I'm not sure how the sizing that, but we did grow out of that. That's why we look for off-site storage. And then the new one is meant to be multi-purpose. It is not for the sole use of any one department. It is, we feel like it would cover our current needs and There's some pretty good space and, 4,000 square feet, but.
Equipment gets larger, and you need more of it, and you need more space. I just think that eventually we get pushed out of that. And I hate throwing the money away in storage buildings. Plus the fact that they're having to put those items in there in a haphazard way because there's nowhere to hook them up or hang them or, slot them so that things don't get torn up. And they do the best they can, but every year we have to fix stuff. And I think it would be better if we had a specific place to put stuff.
Do what?
I think I'd like to make a recommendation to have city council, the park board, I'll say the park board would like to make a recommendation to the city council for examination or exploration of a space with the assistance and direction of our chief executive officer, or whatever he calls himself, financial officer, AKA the mayor, because they're going to know the area best. So I think that that would be a good person to ask. So my recommendation is to seek the assistance of the mayor in asking the city council for space for a park board building facilities space that is designated just for park board Christmas decorations. That's a motion.
I second.
All in favor? So motion for the mayor to assist council in reviewing possible space.
It will go to council, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it goes to council, but just I would like to ask the mayor for his assistance in that because he's going to know if there's space and where the space is, and he can talk to James and all the people that know where the spaces are, because I actually don't. I just know that we have a lot of land.
And
Council.
did you list the size as a part of that motion, or?
No, because it depends on, I don't know what the ordinance are, so I left that kind of open. More of a, what is our availability, what's the possibility, is there space for it, would it be allowed? So it's just to have the council look at that. I mean, if it's something as simple as sticking a shipping container out in the behind some, I don't know. Okay.
Well, the short answer was that none of our zoning will allow for a shipping container anywhere.
Sure.
I'll write it down.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a shipping container. It can be a barn space. Do we need it to be refrigerated or air conditioned or whatever? It's just a, it's not, right? So it's not a, what do we call it?
The storage buildings are
Not a
temperature
conditioned
regulated.
space, so. I mean, it could just be a barn.
Did we talk about expanding the current building?
Many years ago, we looked at the cost of expanding that, and it was definitely possible. It is expensive, and it was suggested it might be less expensive to tear it down and rebuild it larger than it would be to
Extend it.
to add on to it, just to
Or
take
maybe-
that away, put
Or
a
just
steel
put one
building in
next
its
to it.
place,
Can
or-
you, that's what I was gonna say.
Can we just stick a building next to it? I mean, a 10 by 20 barn next to the shed? I don't know how that looks, or they have really fancy designs now, so it seems like anything would be possible.
Yeah, like I said, there's, what's available to be built in public property, it doesn't have some of those same rules. We'd have to see
yeah.
exactly if there is any rules governing the size of it.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'll ask the building official to give us an answer there.
Okay.
And again, I'd like to say that the park looked the prettiest it ever has. We had people all over the place. The only complaint that I heard all day and evening was we didn't have any food. Wasn't our fault that the truck that was going to have food decided to cancel. But so maybe we can get, and I'm sure Katrina tried really hard, maybe we can have multiple food vendors at that event as well. It wasn't attended, I don't think, as many as we normally do, but they were there every night in that park looking around and having fun.
So finishing up with 9C, any other feedback for Christmas in the Park?
Yes, Dana? Dana typed us up a little list.
Of course she did.
Are we on 9C? I'm sorry.
We're on, we skipped to 9C, yes.
Okay.
Sometimes you roll with the flow.
You want- I can go over it with you. I've got mine. I just, and y'all interject anywhere you want to on this because I just kind of brainstormed this. On the event, the 2 snow slides kept the lines down and worked really well, I thought. The little the slide for the younger kids was a big hit. I wasn't happy with the way the company spread out the snow in that area, and Public Works had to get shovels and push it all back where it should be, but, you know, that's something we have to take up with the company. I think we still need to hire the slide company attendants to work the slides. We did get lucky and had some kids
second
show
that.
up. And Chuck volunteered, and then maybe Larry went over there, but this time, if we make sure we hire those attendants, you know, when we book the slides, that would be great. I made a note, we need more food trucks. All kid activities I thought were really good and well attended there on the kid activities. I think the tree lighting needs an overhaul. It's got a big gap in it and that we had to cover up, and then it's missing a lot of balls on there. And so I think that's something we need to work on, you know, when we start ordering stuff for Christmas, is more decoration for that tree to, you know, spruce it back up.
I have talked to them, and the pricing should be coming to us soon
Okay.
for that.
And
Yeah,
I think,
we counted up, that was the 6th year this year that we've used the big tree, I call it the new tree, but it's 6 years old.
I think we need to stick with plastic because the glass ones just shatter. When the wind gets them in, obviously, like today, there's going to be wind. So, but the big balls, yeah, we need to get a bunch of those.
Public Works employees did a fantastic job setting up the park and working the event. I mean, they really, as usual, came through, made the event, you know, a big success. We couldn't have done it without their help. There's no way. And they jumped in there, they worked the slide, they worked the gates, you know, the entrance, they worked the parking lot. Wherever they were needed, they just jumped right in there. And, I mean, we couldn't have done it without them. I thought Emily did a good job directing everybody out there in the Public Works area as well. And Joseph on the decorations for the park, I give him big kudos. I mean, he worked really, really hard getting the decorations out there in the park, you know, getting them set up. He would bring things that were broken to my house, and then he would come and get them and take them back out to the park. And he worked days and hours out there in that park and did things on his own that he didn't even have to, like making additional tunnels, you know, with the lights and the PVC pipe. He wasn't asked to do that. He just did it. And that added so much to the park, you know, just the little things. So I really
Taking
appreciate
notes on that, James?
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And James with the music and the new speakers and the programming. Every time I went out there, it was playing like it was supposed to. And people are around it. That's what makes our park a little different, is because it's interactive. You know, you're not just looking at a still decoration. You know, you're looking at singing things that are moving and acting. And so I think that's where we're a little different than anybody else, and it sets us apart. The student volunteers that came were awesome. They worked really hard, especially on the slide. Park decorations, a good layout with the decorations that Cindy talked about, well attended by the public, even after Christmas. There were still people going out there in the park and walking around. Roping off the decorations was huge. I think that's why we didn't lose power on a lot of them. Now, we did lose power on the pixel tree, and that's because I think the rope lights, those plastic ropes didn't go all the way to that pixel tree, and it allowed a little walkway. And there were 2 cords coming out, and when I went out there, one of the cords had been pulled out. and so the tree wasn't working. So next year, if we just close off that pixel tree, and so that won't happen. But I called James, I think one night, I sent him a text saying it wasn't working. Next day, everything was working. So I appreciate you doing that, James.
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Okay.
I think one of the key things we did this year was we started it earlier. We had it up and ready before we had time. If the weather got bad, we had time if people couldn't get out there. But we did it like 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, and it made such a difference not to have to hurry and push and try to get everything done at the last minute.
On the big tree with the lights, I think we all thought they were going to go higher up in the tree, a little bit higher. What happened was they ended up doing 10 trees instead of 8, and so they used, some of those lights to do more trees. So that's kind of what happened there. And I noticed, some of the lights would come down, like unwrap, but those are pecan trees, and squirrels, climb up those pecan trees. And so the squirrels, I think, loosen those lights. So anyway, I thought the trees looked great. And it really added a lot to the park.
And having all of those trees lit up, it really, it was like walking into a winter wonderland. It really was.
Y'all have any other things that y'all noticed or want to add to this?
I want to thank you for all the work you did, making sure that everything was fixed and up and running, too.
Thank you. It's fun. I enjoy it.
I do want to say something real quick. The music you could hear from our porch. It was awesome. I could just sit on the porch and listen to music, and it was awesome.
Awesome.
I was going to add, I liked the way the Santa line was run along the edge. I think it made it flow pretty good. It wasn't in the
did too.
middle. I liked that. I don't know, y'all rented some kind of stands or something. Those were kind of fun, like red carpet stands.
Yeah, that was really good. Out in the street.
I mean, it was up on the curb and then after Santa. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was a good idea. So we need to make sure we rent those again. Make a note of that. Okay, ways to improve. When you do an event, you always look at, how can it be better? Better, bigger, what can we do? Yeah, the weather was a plus. No rain, didn't have any issues with the plugs getting wet. That probably helped everything working as well. And so the weather was awesome. Here's some just ways that I, looked around and thought, how can we make Haslett even better? And I said, add outdoor decorative garland to 12 lighted poles throughout Old Town to decorate those poles up a little bit, that we put the decorations actually on. I got that idea out of Roanoke, actually, when I went down there Main Street, or Oak Street. And put outdoor garland on the legs of the pavilion in the Gamble Park. Decorate those legs a little bit, decorate them up. Decorate the entrance to City Hall. We had just a wreath over City Hall, but there's so much more we could do to that front entrance. They have those 2 pot holders, they really don't have anything in them. But if we could put Christmas decorations in them to brighten up, the entrance. Right, yeah. I found some stuff on Amazon that would work really well. So we can look at that for this next year as well. Add a wreath to the community center and a wreath to the library. Kind of decorate that area up. On the library. More lights to the Gamble Park Pavilion. They went around, but not over the top. In the past, they've done the entire pavilion, like all the peaks. And so if we could add, we're going to have to buy more lights, to do this. And the restroom area, if we could put lights around that. I'm just trying to light it up more. We're really out of room for decorations, but if we could bring more light to the town. Update the songs on the Pixel Tree. The same songs have been playing for 10 years. Some of them are standard, but some of them we can kind of upgrade a little bit, add more to it, so we kind of need to focus on the music a little bit, I think. I was thinking add more pole decorations to Haslett, from Dollar General all the way down to Schoolhouse Road. There's about 4 poles that we could put something on, decorate further down the highway. We had 3 wreaths that Joseph brought to my house, a big, huge wreath that went on poles, and I just ran out of gas, actually, and didn't get those decorated, and, trying to figure out where to put them, but then I thought we could put them on the poles, coming down Haslett. Those telephone poles would hold those wreaths, because they're real big and heavy. So let's look at, ways that we could decorate a little more, throughout the city.
I like decorating 156. I always consider 156 more of Haslett than
Exactly.
that other road anyway, so.
And then I think we need to replace the 4 big bell pole decorations that were down. The real big ones. Oh, we have 8? They're kind of orange instead of red now. And so those are some of the first ones that we bought, I think. Not the real big ones.
Did we decide last year how we're going to replace those? Didn't we say we're going to buy 4 every year or something?
Yeah, I think we
Versus buying new ones, we're just going to put it in a rotation to recycle through? Did we choose an actual number? Okay. But did we decide like a final saying? Do we need to maybe choose like a purchase 4 new ones to get rid of 4 old ones? I don't know.
Yeah, we can do that when we talk about
Okay.
that more, I guess.
I
Yeah.
tried to
ready to-
get some
yeah.
pricing to bring to you guys
Okay.
tonight. And the office that provides that's the manufacturing office, they're closed for the whole month of January. Maybe next meeting.
Anyway, do y'all have any ideas, any ways we can make it bigger, better? Okay. All right, I guess that's all I've got. We can just pull this out when we get ready for planning Christmas.
Perfect. Yeah, it came late and I thought it was great. After y'all had already done all the work, it was fantastic. So thanks for that.
I had a couple suggestions on the pole decorations. We have done the ones on Westport, and I always like the fact that they just have good symmetry. I mean, you have a whole bunch of repeating poles at the same spacing, so they always look good. One thing you could do in the future is you will have Haslett Parkway, so that may have more residential traffic going through there to see them, but you could also look at decorating Haslett Parkway the same way as Westport is, or moving those to Westport. That's just something that's out there. Now, any kind of pole decoration, including the one on 156, just depending on which poles, we always have to have some sort of approval. The one we have currently with Encore allows us to hang those decorations. We would probably have to reach out, update them if we want to put garland around them, because we do not own those poles specifically. We own the poles on Westport, so for the most part, we can add those decorations, but if they are a provider-owned pole, we always have to get an agreement, and they typically always will provide that. It's just sometimes they require some insurance or something with that. So that's just something to keep in mind if we're going to do anything drastically different or add poles specifically on the wooden ones, because those are very sporadic, and some it may be different providers. One may be Tri-County, one may be Encore, and some may be privately owned. So if we expand out to that, we would have to look at that. They are not. So there's two or three in the actual park. So if it's in the park section that's off if it's not on Gamble or Main, those are owned by the city, but they still kind of require an allowance from Encore, but we do have an agreement that allowed us to put that in place. So, but with those, we have to have paid for, and we have to maintain those. The other ones are completely owned by Encore, and we have to ask their permission.
But Haslett Parkway, we own those.
We do not. Those are all tri-county, and they would typically allow us, but you would have to, basically show them what you want to put on there, and they would tell us if it was allowed or not. The ones on Westport, some of those we own. It's the majority that goes from the welcome sign basically to intermodal, and we have the ones going down intermodal. But past that, so that'd be west of intermodal, those are all completely owned by Encore. But again, we do have an active agreement that they allow us for for up to 30 days to place these decorations. I mean, it's a very old agreement. It probably needs to be updated.
I noticed, from Dollar General down to Schoolhouse, there's some of the poles that have old attachments where there used to be
Yes.
decoration.
That's correct. Yeah,
And I think I remember one time we hung flags, like,
it was
flag decoration.
I believe it was discontinued in 2005, and they did stop that because just the wind of those type of banner flags were labor intensive and did not last. But yeah, to your point, those are the locations. A lot of those mounts are still kind of out there. So those were poles that we had previously had stuff on. But the last time I think they were put up was in 2005. I mean, but those are locations that were allowed in the past. So presumably they'd be allowed now.
So before we go any farther, I have a couple of little questions real quick. The lights, who does them? I mean, you have somebody actually put the lights up for you, right?
Public Works puts them up.
Okay, and then the other idea was the wreaths. Are they real or artificial?
Artificial.
Okay, I have ideas for that too.
Okay, good.
So just so you know, when we decorate for the park, we all kind of, as a park board, show up and help the parks department. And so they do most of the work, and we just kind of say, we like it here. I mean, we do help, but they bring it all out. And then all of our light rewiring has traditionally so all of the programming of songs is James, and he does all of the lights and the cool functions and computer boards. And the physical lights is usually James or Dana. And Dana takes stuff to her house and literally rewires the frames and stuff, so. Yeah. And I'm sure Dana would love your help, because I don't have that skill.
And two other things on that same note was we had toyed with the idea of having Public Works take over wrapping the larger tree. We typically have a lift in the park for the other decorations, for the big tree and the pixel tree. So we could potentially do the wrapping ourselves to save some money.
A lot of money.
That's something we haven't done previously. I think it's within their capability. We would have to start early, but we also have been, accumulating more people in Public Works, making some of these things are a little more feasible. So that's something if would like us to put in, we can attempt this for a trial year and see if that's something that works.
We'll see how many staff we have.
In December.
Hopefully so.
That sounds fantastic.
And then we agree on the songs. Unfortunately, they don't come out with brand new Christmas songs that very often, but there is a few that I think we could add, and a lot of that programming was done when we first started, and if we're looking at maybe picking something, some of the decorations, we're revamping those so that they're a little more standardized, and a lot of the songs come pre-programmed if we stick to their standard programming. So if we do that, it may be easy to add a handful of songs, and we're trying to work on some of that pretty much now since it's fresh in our minds. But while we have everything out, we're trying to dig through some of that now just to be proactive.
The big tree has already been put away, right?
The
lights?
The one that was in Community Park with the actual, yes, it has.
And not the panel tree, no, the one that's
The
by
pixel
the
tree?
pavilion. I mean.
By the bathrooms?
Yes, it has been put away.
So if we were going to work on it and put more bulbs and stuff on it, we would need to do that like in October, November. And you can get it out and we can get to
Yes.
it before you put it together.
Yeah, I think we should bring them all out piece by piece and replace them with those plastic bulbs. And I think we ought to reach out to the same manufacturer and see if they have the same ones it came with. That way the quality of those should last.
I'm waiting on the pricing.
Yeah. So I do think we ought to stick with a commercial style bulb. A lot of the ones that you can pick that are large, things like Hobby Lobby and stuff, are just not made. They
too
are
flimsy. Yeah.
And none of it lasts. I mean, Christmas decorations, none of it lasts very long.
I found a company that that sells package for outdoor trees, and you probably are looking at the same thing, where you can buy the whole package, and it's got, I don't know, hundreds of bulbs in it that are specific for outdoor trees. And yeah, so we can talk about that too when we get there, but there you go.
James, you want to take project updates from the Public Works Department, 9B?
Sure. Will you open that presentation? All right, next slide. That's just so we all agree, we thought it went fantastic. I added that as our slide. We agreed on us starting early, everybody having that out earlier just helps. So from our perspective, I did have a video here, but I converted it from PowerPoint, and I forget that. No, it's a nice video of all the decorations, but that one didn't survive the transfer to PDF. Next slide, if you will. So I thought, as part of the update for Community Park, that since it's been basically a year since we put Court Reserve, that I don't know that y'all ever see the metrics. So just so you know, you have 1,078 members who utilize that platform. 124 are actual Hassel residents, 954 are people from the surrounding areas, and you've had 73 people join just in the month of December. And then as far as reservations go for that entire time period, you've had 3,640 reservations with 2,397 for pickleball and 1,243 for tennis.
And for transparency, some of those months that was not functioning, correct? Was the reservation system available the entire time? I thought it was down for a while from a lock problem or something.
There was I want to say there was a couple weeks that
just a couple weeks.
There was, but the system was active, so your memberships would still grow, and there's a potential that you didn't capture as many people that would have reserved, but they still had use and functionality, but there wasn't a small amount of time there. Next slide, if you will. And so this is just kind of a breakdown of, just for utilization, just in case you wanted to know, that these are the time windows and these are the percents of the time that they were occupied. So if you just kind of look through there, and this is for tennis alone, these are the percentages that you saw people use it. So you can really see that, any day of the week, it's, 6 through 9 o'clock, basically, you had the highest amount of usage of those where we had reservations in there. I mean, you can see it's kind of like a heat map, so the darker color green is the intensity of people using it. And then next slide, if you will. This is the same for pickleball, so it's really, if you look, it's basically the same side, except for the early morning ones on Saturday and Sunday are a little higher for pickleball. And I believe there was one more slide after that on this. So, well, we can go back to the court. There we go. This really just shows you court utilization. So if you want to look, our courts are being used roughly 30% of the time. That there's somebody in some fashion at those courts, and those are only in the available hours that the park is open. So I just thought this was just after a year as a trial run, just kind of showing you really what's being used and how often. Next slide. All right, so there was questions about the missing trees around the ones that had the memorial plaques. They did get these 6 put in place, and they're working with the provider to see what we need to do to make those plantings successful. They've given them root stimulator and a plan to go by, and we're hoping to have a little more success there. They said this is the perfect time of year to put them in, and so we'll keep an eye on that, and if need be, we'll have somebody come out and check, maybe in 2 or 3 months to make sure they don't need any kind of treatment beyond what they've suggested. They get watered twice a week. Yep, and a few of these trees, prior to planting, they added drip lines, so they're on the irrigation. So, next slide. And then the community park drainage improvements that are going on, that project is just near completion. They're trying to get the very last bit here. This picture here shows the bridge crossing. The only thing missing here is the handrail, and they are waiting on delivery of that. That was expected to be done by now, and it hasn't been. This picture here was prior to the grout being added into the rocks. That's one of those things that when we do get those big rain events, it is expected to top that sidewalk. There's no way to make, in order to make it tall enough to never have that happen, it would need to be closer to the height of that train bridge, So this is expected to have flooding, but the grout and the rocks, in the way that it was built, it should withstand that, hold all that in place, and not have the erosion problems. So we're hoping that solves any disruption in trail usage. But that project's pretty much finished. Next slide, if you will. There's a picture of the sidewalk if you hadn't already seen it. Like I said, the only thing missing here is the handrails. Next slide. And then there's the pavilion there. I looked at the plans, and I don't think we called out for any kind of a bench in that area. I would have thought we would have, and it may have just been something that was missed as part of the scope of that project, but that is the finished pavilion. Next slide.
I said, bring your own chair.
Well, and we do find that more often than not, we're finding things like even at the baseball fields, people have a tendency to prefer that, to not have bleachers and things like that. They kind of like to bring their outdoor chairs, and that might be a reasonable expectation there for them. This is the long overdue water fountain. There's a handful of features there. We did have this in earlier, but we weren't happy with the finished product on the concrete, so we had our guys remove that and reset it again. We have a small drain in front to help capture any kind of spilt water. We did have sand filters in this. There is a faucet in the very front at the very lowest that is made for washing sand off. So kids can presumably wash their feet off in lieu of using the drinking portion of it. We're hoping those things help. If they don't, we can always disable that portion of it if it becomes too much of a water feature. And then to keep from having to run water hoses outside of the center, on the right there at the midway, there is a hose connection that's not available to the public, but it's available for us for maintenance needs. So washing of the picnic area and that kind of stuff. These are just great things that were added on that. And of course it has their bottle filler in the top. So that is out and fully functional.
Fantastic, thank you.
And then this is the last slide I have here is, if you haven't already seen them, the city does have digital marquees at the fire station and at the public library. And we would encourage that if y'all have things that you want to advertise for park events, that we have somebody generate a graphic and put that on. We should use them for those kind of things, and I just think it's something that will be helpful. And as always, we also have the billboard at 35. And I think that's the last slide, right?
Do you know, I just have a question about that billboard, because Tanya had mentioned that to us once before if we needed to advertise something. How do we access it, do you know?
So
Because it's not a digital billboard, it's a paper billboard, or
no,
it's
it's a digital one. The one on
okay.
35, it's right there at Keller Hicks and the access road on 35. And the city has basically one graphic every so many minutes or seconds, I can't remember. It's just a part of that agreement. And so Emily actually out of our office handles putting the graphics on there as far as an approval process of what goes on there. Do you know, Katrina? I don't know offhand how they've handled it. Traditionally, it's been for park events. We have put graphics out there. Currently, it says yes. Yeah, and we're only are allowed one graphic of any sort at a time. Right now, it says Haslett Hiring. We're using it for that purpose, but we've done them for other park events just ourselves. But if that's just something.
But if we were going to put something on the library and the fire street sign, we could say, hey, can we add it to that?
Yes, if it was something, if you would send it to, you send it to Katrina and we will get that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a perfect use for it. Like I said, that's really something we've never had is prior to this one, you had literally the letter boxes where you had to put a single message and it was time consuming and people don't pay attention. This changes. I mean, we obviously don't want to overload the sign with so much, but I think there's plenty of room to add content to it. And that was the want for having that. And we had originally talked about putting one in the, inside the park for the parking lot, but we thought it was kind of redundant having the library one there. So we just think we ought to make use of that for as much as possible.
One other upgrade y'all made was to the volleyball court. I went by there and looked at it. It looks good.
Yes,
Got the new poles, new net.
Yep, they completely dug up the existing bases, and those are huge, and we, like I said, installed them to what the factory determined. That is a regulation size. There's some differences depending on which age group is played, but that is the typical widths. And so far, we hadn't seen a lot of usage there, but we made all the improvements that I think they were requested, including the boundary lines. They're out there, and the only thing we didn't change is the type of sand. The actual volleyball, there's several different types. We use a slightly heavier sand because we found due to the wind in that area that very light volleyball sand would just drift. And so that's the only, it's a screen masonry sand is what we're using, and it is often sold for this purpose.
A Parks and Recreation survey summary that has been completed and turned off, correct?
Here we go. On October the 6th, 2025, the council authorized a park survey to be conducted at the request of the Haslett Parks and Recreation Board. The approved survey was conducted November the 17th, 25 to December 19th of 25. There were 101 participants, residents in the survey. The survey data is being compiled, and a Parks and Rec survey report will be generated to present to the Haslett Parks Board for their February 11th meeting. Parks and Recreation Board comments and recommendations will be incorporated and presented to the City Council for the March 2nd City Council meeting.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Discussion regarding parks. Does anyone have anything about Gamble Park specifically? Anything about Community Park?
Pretty soon, the committee that's being formed to do the playground equipment will meet, and we'll start coming up with ideas what we want over there and bring it back to the park board.
Remind me who's on that committee again.
Pardon me?
Remind me who all's on that committee again.
It's a couple of people from HEDC that are, or whatever those letters are, that are going to fund it, and they wanted to help
And we
with the
combine with their
decisions.
committee. Do we
Pardon me?
decide if we combine with their committee or if they're combining with ours or if it matters?
I mean, your motion said that you would like to do that. Their motion did not say that, so I don't really know.
But they are willing to do a committee with us.
They formed a committee. It did not say join with the parks.
Oh, well,
So I really don't know, to
they
be honest.
contacted me to say when we're going to get together,
They
so I'm just
contacted me and
assuming.
said we'd like you guys to join our committee, so I'll find out.
Okay, yeah, unfortunately, the communication wasn't great, so hopefully y'all got more information.
Okay. So it's just me and Cindy from the park board that are part of that particular committee. But if you guys have any information or insight, then that would be great. And are you Eleanor? Eleanor? So I have a book here if you want to look at it. And I know you're kind of old for playground stuff, but if you saw anything that looked really cool, you could tell us of things you'd like to see in a future playground, and we would take your feedback. Just in case you're interested, or if you have any younger siblings or friends, you can look at them now if you want. And that way you don't have to just, yeah, just put a little bend and be like, oh, this is cool. So what we're talking about is rebuilding a new playground structure in the park. So these are just, we've looked at things in the past, and I've got lots of previous things, and those are the newest books that we have. So if you see something, let us know, and then we'll meet, like she said. Anything else about Community Park? Veterans Memorial Garden?
Did you see the drawing that the architect sent over the detailed drawing with all the,
So he provided the deliverables. I think that he was contracted to do. It's basically a artistic drawing of it and a detailed sheet of construction. And I've reached back out to him to ask him if he can provide us with a probable cost of construction and also things like linear footages of stuff. So that way we can convert those into bid documents, just depending on what he says his probable cost of construction will be. If it's below a certain threshold, then we will reach out directly to several people for quotes. If it is estimated that's going to be above a certain threshold, then we will have engineering assist us with making bid documents that have things like bonding and stuff like that that's required. It will go out, be advertised in the paper, and come back. So that's really, as soon as I get that probable cost of construction and any of the things, it just makes it easier because the plan is really good, but to have somebody bid on it, it's a lot easier if we can give them those footages and those quantities. So it's a lot easier to look at their bid to make sure that they're bidding appropriately and there's not things that will cause change orders.
do I need to rattle his cage or?
No, he's been great. Like I said, he provided the documents we needed, and I just spoke with him. It was earlier this week. So
Okay, good, great, thank you.
And so we'll move forward, and we should have an update at the next meeting where we're at on that.
Outstanding.
And before we go on to the fields, we had the Veterans Day event this year.
Yes, in
And I
November.
don't think we've met since then, but it went very well, and I'd like to see that we continue that this year.
I was just thinking, we need to add that to our list of events, even though it's a co-event with the VFW.
It's on the list, it's just not on this agenda because it's so far out. We have,
We limit the few that we
Well, we talk Christmas.
did talk Christmas.
That's because we have to.
Then the future agenda item is to have that added to our updates and all the things that we're doing.
Do you have a time frame of when you'd like to see us start planning for the Veterans Day? Like July?
Probably earlier than that. I think we got a late
May.
start last time, and it kind of, because I think there's a lot more that we can do. So I think Cindy and I probably need to start meeting with the VFW in March.
We need to talk to them anyway about Memorial Day.
Right.
So we'll just get that going, and then talk to them about Veterans Day as well.
I'll shoot Josh an email, or Jason an email.
Do you guys want a military, is that the right word I would like to use, committee? That way y'all don't have to have permission to meet or discuss anything for Memorial Day or Veterans Day?
I
or-
thought that's what we were.
Well, you were the Memorial Garden Committee,
Well,
now
and we were
that-
Memorial Day, Cindy
right?
and I.
But do we want to expand the committee scope?
If we need to make it official, sure, I don't
Okay.
care.
Because it's Dana, Chuck, and Cindy that are on that committee, right? We can have 3. Is that correct? For the Memorial. For Memorial Garden Committee. But if we changed it, would y'all be willing to stay on that committee? We can just kind of blanket it a Veterans Committee.
Oh, I'd have Larry on it.
Oh, we'd like to have Larry on it. Okay. Do we have to motion to change our committee? Okay, let's make it a future agenda item. Let's make it a future agenda item. Oh, good, I got him.
That doesn't mean that anybody else can't give us information or help or suggestions,
Right.
but, yeah.
Well, we're still Memorial Garden as of this moment, so that's how our committee will run. But next motion, we'll future agenda item to make changes to that. Nance Field, anything? Little Timmy doesn't want a water fountain this time? Firehouse Fields? Perfect. And then I also would like to circle back to item number 3, because we kind of glanced over that. Citizens' participation and comments. And we might have a participant here in the audience that, do you have a speaker form, sir? I don't, but I can fill one out. If you can fill one out, you'll need that before you can speak, if you'd like to speak. Any other future agenda items that anyone can think of? He's got it right there. Anything you guys want to add? Kim, anything you can think of that you'd like to see? Okay. Yes. Yes, yes. I can't think of anything else. James, anything we need to add? Anything we need to add? No. I actually have a question, Eleanor. When are we putting the box in? Do we have a date for putting the boxes in? Is there like a time of year that's better? Okay. Well, then that's not a future agenda item. We'll just make sure council approves and then. So will you get back to them? Okay, so James will get back to you on that. Okay. All right, we have a participation form, Katrina. Does he just have to say his name and address? Is that right? Yeah, if you'll just tell us your name and address, and then you're free to speak.
My name's Kelly Clark. I live at 1601 McVoyd Road, Springtown, Texas. I'm a founding member of Heritage Baptist Church. Still go there and teach every Sunday. We own Shoot 2 Productions, and for 10 years we put on the Haslett Wild West Fest with you guys. COVID hit us, and we were just about ready to do it again, and everything kind of shut down. We missed about half of our shows that year, but then was able to finish the last half of that year, and we've continued on since then. We were the first anything festival-wise to get back into Granbury, Texas, and of course we've been there ever since. But I was just seeing if you guys would like to entertain having the Wild West Fest again.
So I don't think we like a Wild West Fest, but I don't know that we don't like the rodeo idea. Is that something that can happen during July when we do our 4th of July event? Because that would be a way to make a 250-year comeback.
Well, the fireworks would scare all the livestock.
So my recommendation would be, based on what Chuck was talking about, it's our 250-year anniversary. So we're doing a big thing all year long with our shows as 250th anniversary. We're doing a big one at Granbury. I would recommend it to be Armed Forces Day, May 16th. It's a Saturday. We do a very patriotic show. Most of y'all know who we are. But yeah, we could set it up where we just came in and do the whole thing. Y'all come and enjoy it, or y'all can set up and do like we used to do, or however you want to do it. This is our 17th year of doing these, so we kind of got it down to a science. Our shows are bigger and better than they were when y'all last saw one 6 years ago.
So from a logistical side, we no longer have a Wild Fest budget or a line item for which that could happen. It would have to fall under one of our other previously categorized items. And unfortunately, that only leaves us Christmas and the Independence Day or the Memorial Day celebration.
Well, I think what he's saying is he'll do it for free. He comes in and puts on the program, and then, I mean, that's how you've done it in the past. You've gone out and gotten sponsors to pay for it?
We do that, but the city council pays us to put it on.
Oh, the city council does?
Y'all, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We paid
Y'all
before.
recommended them, yeah.
Pay a lot.
Okay,
We've never done it for free.
okay. I was, do what?
It won't cost us anything.
Yeah.
No, it costs about $20.
Okay, I guess I'll jump
I
the
mean,
gun on
if it was
that.
free, you didn't even have to show up. You should have just
Yeah.
sent us an email, but we typically paid you, from what I recall, so.
Well, yeah, but the city
One of
council has to
which
approve
one of
it.
the stations gives free diesel out, and I'll do that.
Which one is the what?
Which one of the stations gives free diesel out?
Yes, right.
It just costs me money, so.
So I have a question for you. First, I'm with the diesel on you on that one. But so when would you suggest doing this?
Again, I think Armed Forces Day in May, we used to do it in May,
We did.
and Armed Forces Day, I think, is the 16th. I have it somewhere. Yeah, May 16th is Armed Forces Day. That's when
Yes.
I would suggest
May
doing it,
16th.
on a Saturday. It got really big, and you guys had to do a lot of the work because of how big it got. I mean, we had Tally here with the carnival, and, I mean, it got really big. We actually went to a 2-day at one time.
We had a chili cook-off and everything.
I beg your pardon?
There was a chili cook-off.
Yeah, that was the original start of it, was the chili cook-off.
So the problem is it costs about $40,000 and we invest about $25,000 that we always lose every time it's canceled. And of the 10 years that we had it, it was canceled about half. Bad weather, one year we pushed it up early, we were watching the storms come in. That one was a fun one because it still happened. But other years it was canceled and we don't recuperate that money that we expended. And so we collectively decided a couple years ago to dissolve the event because of the timing of the year that May poses to us and then the costs that we were losing the city and the city tax dollars. When it happens, it is fantastic.
So.
Totally
when did we
fantastic.
cancel one of these shows here?
2018, I can go back through my list and pull them all out for you, but I know that we had canceled, not you specifically, but weather didn't allow it.
Okay.
No, not you.
We did every show here for 10 years.
Nobody didn't
I've
cancel
canceled
it.
one, and it was in Lake Worth.
Yeah, no. It wasn't a matter of it like being canceled. It wasn't permitted due to weather, or it was, the storms were coming in.
Yeah,
We weren't able to
it has
continue
rained
with
here,
it.
yes.
Yes, without using the word cancel, it wasn't able to continue multiple years. And I can pull those statistics up for y'all next time, but May was always a bad time because of the unpredictability of the weather. And so this is back even when Garrick was here, and he was like, listen, we've done 10 years. Let's combine it into all one for 4th of July. But you're right. I don't know that the fireworks are going to be very conducive for your animals.
Yeah, and I'm booked that time, so.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys. That's why I say, we're in Texas. We do spring and fall. Fall is rough because the religion of high school football. I mean, we just.
Well, I'm happy to put it on a future agenda. And we can't make any decisions, today. We're
Sure,
just
no,
allowed to
no,
answer questions and talk, but
My main reason is coming here is to, hey.
spark our interest.
Haven't done it in a long time. We're still actively doing them. Justin's still doing theirs. Roanoke's is huge.
You do a great show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They do a drone show, big drone show at Roanoke, really big show. Last couple of years, it's been colossal. They did our bull riding deal. They did a guy on a bull. I got a picture of it. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
There's a pretty cool rodeo clown, if you've never seen him, that comes out to the show too. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
What kind of events are included? I mean, the bull riding, the goat
Cat scramble.
calf scramble?
Yeah, it's a show, and we do 3 shows on Saturday. So we typically do a noon, a 3 o'clock, and a 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Each of the shows lasts about 1 hour and 20 minutes. We'll buck 30 bulls is my goal is to buck 30 bulls. We do Granbury. The last 2 years at Granbury, we bucked 80 bulls. I mean, we get a lot of riders. So we'll do about 1 hour and 20 minute show at noon, do mutton busting for the kids at 3, and then another 1 hour and 20 minute show at 6 o'clock, and then we're done. And typically we do vendor spaces. The vendors got pretty big. I think we got 80 plus vendors here for it. So, and we, at different times, we did the vendors or y'all did the vendors. There's vendors right now mad, and we ain't even decided to have it yet. Vendors are a tough deal, but my wife did the vendors for here, and she kind of had it down to a science. But I think we got 80 plus vendors, 83, something like that. One year was our biggest. So it's one of y'all's biggest events. I mean, y'all know, most of y'all been here and done it. So anyway, I just thought I'd see what y'all were doing. This is the one city that I've got vested interest in, and we don't have it here. So, and this is where we started 17 years ago, so just wanted to throw that out there. Didn't know where to catch y'all, but here. So there you go.
So can we put this as an agenda item for next month?
Absolutely, we can put it for a future agenda item.
Okay.
Because I'd like to look
Has
at it.
anybody not seen what we do?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I got a show I can show y'all, but if everybody's seen it, y'all know.
I paid the doctor bills for the result of a mutton busting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just a ballpark figure, what is it running now?
it's 20,000.
I was looking for the old prices that we paid. You can see me flipping through here. That's what I was looking
Last
for.
time
That's
we
about
did
what it was.
Last time we were scheduled to do it was 16,000, and that was 6 years ago.
Hey,
And
just
is
so I
that
can,
if you do the vendors or if we do the vendors? Or is that separate?
Yeah, we'll just figure that out of what we're gonna do. Y'all, if y'all wanna do the vendors, God bless you, man. Y'all do the vendors. That's cool. My wife will not be angry with me, so. It helps the event. You know, it's kind of an all-day deal, and we'll put on a show. They go out and check out the vendors, and so, yeah. So,
well, I would like to say something. My dad was a bull rider, so however I can help you get this here, you've got
Oh,
my
good.
back on this one.
my dad was a bull rider too. Yeah.
I'm just there for the rodeo clown.
Stop.
It's really my favorite part of the show. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I'm teasing you, but it really is one of my favorite parts.
Really?
Yeah, really. I'm a nerd, so
He's gotten better.
he's gotten better. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, he has his pro card back, and he goes all over the country now. I'll start go next month to Wickenburg, Arizona, and then back across the country. So I've senile, older age. So
Yes.
I got back in, yeah.
You're only second to barrel racing, which you don't put on in your show, so.
No.
Yeah.
No. Those are, you would think vendors are tough, deal with barrel racers. You know, they always cremate barrel racers, right?
Gosh.
Because no ground's ever good enough. Sorry. It's part of the show, folks.
Yes, part of the show. All right, so future agenda item is to discuss a possible, what's it called? Shoot to
Production, yes, ma'am.
Shoot to Productions.
And y'all's next meeting is February 10th? 11th, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Wednesday. Okay, adjourn.
I beg your pardon? May 16th, yes, ma'am. I'm in Colorado for 3 weeks, around the 4th, sorry. It's not 105 up there, so I've got 3 different shows up there, the end of June, 4th of July, and then the week after. But that, we used to have it that weekend is when we had it, was actually the 3rd weekend in May.
Are you available June 26th? Just out of curiosity.
No.
Okay.
Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
But you can go to Steamboat with us. Okay, do y'all want me to bring anything in February?
I don't, I love
Y'all
the
need to
show.
see anything, or? Whatever you want. I like to see some stuff. Okay. You want me to be in my clown outfit, or? Yeah, there we go. Don't tempt me. Okay, thank y'all for the time, and appreciate it. Yeah, you too, Cindy. Thank y'all.
Adjourn 8:03.
This conference is no longer being recorded.